Doodlebud in my hand is the Pilot Custom 823, super popular pen, very gorgeous, well-made, vac filler, gold nib, all these great things. The only problem with this pen is it's not cheap, it's expensive. And so for a lot of folks, they just go, I'm not spending that much money on a pen. I don't care how nice it is, not gonna do it. So there are some alternatives in the marketplace. And these are two that are pretty close to it. This is a Asvine V126. This is a Wingsung, which it really looks like it. This is the Wingsung 699. So if this thing's just not happening and you're considering these two pens, which one should you get? Let's help you make that decision. Before we start comparing, let me impart a little pen wisdom upon you. These are both great pens, but even if you get one, you still might be yearning for this, and you're like, I still gotta get one. So here's a tip. If you want to pick one up, these come up on the secondhand market frequently, and you can get them significantly cheaper than new. So, you know, it's expensive new, I get it. You can also get them overseas, a little cheaper than buying here in North America. But another one is the secondhand pen market. I've had some great success. Just gonna throw that out there. This might save you a few dollars instead of having to buy new. All right, now back to the main scheduled program. So you can see here, very similar to the 823 in overall design. Let's just start off with the clip. If you love the ball on that clip on the 823, well, the Asvine clip is much closer than the Wingsung 699. If that's a deal maker for you, right there, we sorted it out right out of the get-go. Cap bands, a little different as you can see. Each one is a little more, individual. I would say the V699 there, the Wingsung, is closer. So if that's a thing for you, there you go. Overall shape and body size, they're very close. I'll get you some up-close comparisons and flybys so you can see that in a moment. But obviously, the Wingsung 699, I did an in-depth comparison video on this. So if you want to really learn all the details, watch that video. I really get into it. You can see it's quite close. Parts aren't interchangeable or anything, but the smoky color, this is a nice, much nicer smoky brown. But there you go. It's got more of that look. But dimension-wise and everything else, the Asvine V126 here is super close as well. So we're going to start checking out a few more things for you. One thing I always want to know with a pen is when I turn the cap off, how many turns it is. Sometimes we just have hard stops. If we're past 2, for example, you're not going to buy it. So the 823, the real deal, 1 3/4 turns. What's got the Asvine? We got 1 3/4. Actually, I'd say 5/8. So very similar to the 823, even less. The Wingsung 699, 1, 2, 2 5/8-ish. So we're above 2. That might be a no-go for you. The caps are off now. We're talking about when you are gripping the pen. So let's think about that. Some things that might annoy people are threads, sharp pointy corners and threads. These threads are very nice and smooth. They don't get in the way. Of course, the 823 is the same. It feels a little better, premium plastic, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But this is quite nice. The V126, it's good, it's nice. There is a little ledge though, right here. A little bit more crisp. You don't feel that on the 699. They don't have that little ledge. So if you hold it right there, this one won't be as nice on your fingers as the Wingsung. Thought I'd point that out. Now when you go to fill the pen, which we will do in just a moment, one thing you have to do is obviously pull the plunger rod back and depress it. So which one is a little smoother or less resistance? This one's nice and smooth. You don't actually have to push too hard. Let's check the V126. It's smooth, but there is more friction. There is more surface area with their O-ring, and I think just the diameter, or possibly it's just the friction between this material and their plunger seal they have. So you do get a little more friction, a little more force to press down. You may not like that, or that's important to you. This is, in all seriousness, this is one little detail here that might make me pick one way over the other, meaning towards the 699. Now let me show you. You got to take this plunger off all the time to fill the pen also, because when it's closed and tightened down, you're sealing off the bottom section. So you do have to open this to ensure you're getting ink flow going in there. And you know, it's not a problem to have metal threads with plastic, but just these particular threads are a little bit sharper. Like a different thread profile would, would be better going in with this plastic here. You can see there is a little bit of wear and tear. Every time I open it, I'll see the dead souls of threads. We're just right on there. So it hasn't been a problem. When I first got it, I could feel it just taking victims, but that has slowed down. So it's possibly taken all the threads off that it will take off, and that's as bad as it'll get. It did what it needed to do. Or it could worsen over time. So that's just something that has me concerned. It doesn't feel anymore like it's going to gouge anything, but being more close to the 823, this is full injection molded. This is a turn pen. It's machined. The 699 is injection molded as well. You can see here we got plastic. We got plastic just like it is on the 823. And so you're not going to have any issues with those threads wearing out. So there won't be any longevity problems there whatsoever. Here, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Has this been a problem? I don't get a chance to use one pen for a super long time. It's a good problem because I have so many new pens to come into review. I'm not complaining at all, but sometimes I don't get to use one pen a ton. So if there's some users down there, you put a ton of miles on your V126, please let us know. Have these worn out, or is everything okay now? It can be almost reflex. As soon as you take off the cap, you post it, and you just go start writing. So let's see which ones post the best. The 823 does it wonderfully. The 699 requires more turns, mildly infuriating. It posts nicely, but it's not the super nicest poster of a pen. I don't know, it's something a little clanky, a little sort of just janky with how it goes on there. It could be just a little step in there or something, how it hits with this trim ring. I don't know. It goes on. It's on there. It's not coming off, but just it's not as elegant. It doesn't fit quite as nice. So point deducted. If we go to the V126, it just feels much nicer. It just goes on there. Everything's nice and concentric, and just this angle, how it engages into here, is just a really nice little fit. Quite comfortable. No little bump or clanking on the way. So the point goes to the V126 for the smoothest posting pen. Overall length of the pens, they're close, but the wing sung is a little bit longer than the 126. You know, nothing major, but thought I would point that out. As far as feel, my calipers are in the shed right now, and it's pouring rain, so I'm not going to go get them. If I'm super ambitious, I'll flash the section diameters of the pen up on the video, or else in the description. There's a little more of a taper on the V126 section. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know overall diameters. Again, I'll do my best to put that up there, but it just has a little more cone shape. And the 699, it's a little interesting. It kind of comes in, but then it flattens out right at the end. I will write with them and tell you about writing experience. They are different size nibs. We have medium over here and extra fine, so I don't know. They're going to feel completely different. But one thing that's just so important when you design a pen, this is like one of the musts a pen must do. It must seal nicely because it's a real pain in the butt. These pens can dry out pretty quick. It doesn't take long. And if you don't have a good seal, it's just really, really annoying that if it dries out all the time, you're just not going to use the pen too much. So my V126, I have zero issues with that. The seal is great. I've left it for over a month. I don't know the longest I've left it, but a month minimum, and absolutely no issues. The 699, this is the reason I actually didn't use the pen a bunch, is mine, I don't know how other ones are, but at least mine doesn't seal that great. It does dry out kind of quick. After a week, it's going to hard start a little bit for whatever reason. So yeah, I don't know what's the deal. Mine is slightly off. There's a slight defect in a part. I don't know if I can get in there. Yeah, let me give this a look. Wait a second before I go taking something apart. If there's a problem, what I need to do is observe it in its natural habitat, in its current state. So let me put this together. Okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about here, let me explain. This pen isn't sealing properly, so the thing I should do is observe it to see if I can spot something. So with this, there is this cap liner here, and the lighting's going to be tough for you, but I can see it. You can probably see this extra little ring that's right there. So that's most likely due to the inner cap liner touching the body. So where there's a little contact point, you've seen this before. So if I put the pen in here, this pen cap liner needs to seal up, against the pen section somewhere. And so maybe if it makes contact, we should be able to see a second ring, which we can start to see. So I don't know, you can sort of see it there right now. So that second ring appeared, and then now it goes away. Now it appears. So that lets us see the contact, and I'm going to look for if there's some gaps. And there's a whole section right up here. It's tough. Shadows and lighting, but anyways, I'm looking at that right now. There is no actual contact up there. It doesn't seem like it is, and I'm really tightening that down. Maybe I have to really snug it. So I wonder if that cap liner is off just a little bit. Maybe I'll take it out. Oh, the focus is just garbage. You can't see anything. Okay, there, that was just fantastic. Anyways, I'm going to take the cap liner out, see if it needs to be reseated or something. Might as well talk about ease of disassembly while we're at it. So far, it's pretty easy. Let me give this a look. Hopefully the focus stays somewhere on this planet so you can see what I'm finding here. So yeah, that's actually what I thought it might be. This little profile that they got here at the end, this right here, that angle and the depth, I don't think it's the best ideal profile to match the cap liner. The cap liner has to go on. I'm going to push down because it's going to get screwed in, but you can see how it really wiggles around quite a bit. We're just barely making contact. We're just on a knife edge. So, I'm pushing down and you can just really rock. If it was engaged a little further, more uniform, I wouldn't be able to just wiggle it around like that. So that's sort of my guess as to why mine doesn't seal well, and it could be a problem with other ones as well. Just that engagement isn't ideal. Yeah, I'm thinking it too. Let's compare it with the master copy. Let's take this one out. Does this come out, or am I destroying my pen right now? Uh-oh. Okay, so don't do that. It's not supposed to come off, but let me show you something I found. So that end profile, if you can see on the right, that's the Wingsung 699. Those edges are just more rounded and blobby. You actually have a proper angle on the 823 on the left, more angular, and that very end of that chamfer, it's nice and crisp, and it's just going to wedge it a lot better. You can see on the 699, it's just rounded. That's why that cap liner wobbles on it. Now, the cap liner will deform to it, but yeah, that end little profile, it's not as good. So that was a bit of a adventurous detour there, but anyways, that was addressing nib tryout, and I had to figure out what's going on with that one because it is a major issue, at least for me. I don't use this pen too much because of that. Let's start filling up the pens. Wait. Let's take out the bottom end of the pen. I don't want to do that after I ink it. So full disassembly. Let's do more of that. You can unscrew the bottom section on both of them. Comes off nice and easy. As far as taking out the whole plunger rod and everything else as well, you unscrew. There's some flats. I can't remember what size wrench. I don't think that's like a standard Twisby wrench that fits on there. But same thing on here. Yeah, this one doesn't have the flats. You could probably, if you put something around there and do that, but I would not advise that. Nor do you need to get that last drop of water that is driving you nuts. Just let it be. But if you are someone who wants the full disassembly, you can do that a little more with the 126. And then the nib and feed on the Wingsung, just a slip fit, just a pressure fit. And on the V126, you can unscrew the whole housing. It's got some O-rings on there to keep everything sealed. You can also pull out the nib and feed on these as well. So there you go. For those of you who want to know how you fully disassemble the pen. Oh yeah, oh that's right, this one's keyed. The Wingsung is not keyed. Anyways, I'll do that off camera, don't want to bend it. Let's measure the weights of the pens before. It's because we're going to measure the ink volume right now, but now you actually know the weights of the pens as well. There we go, let's just say 1/4 grams. And the 699, yeah, a little bit more, so 29.5. 29.63. I'll be using Diamine Eclipse. I'm just going to do a regular fill. I'm not going to bother with the super fill. I don't usually like to do that with my vac fillers because I like to see the ink slosh around a little bit. And if you want to know what a super fill is, you're going to see when I fill the pen up, there'll be some air left. So what you can do, you put the rod down, air will now be up here, and you slowly push the piston up and it'll force the air out. Once you force out all the air, do not go past go, or else you're going to have a big surprise, trust me. Put it back in, push, it'll suck up the rest of it, and you'll have a full fill. Anyways, showed you that. If you don't want to watch how to do one, I just showed you how, but here we go. That's not too bad. I'll give it an extra pump just in case. Yeah, that got a little bit more. I'll do this for both pens, and then we'll weigh it and see. So the 699 was 29.63. Now we got, oh, that's not even full. Wrong pen. 31.42. 126. There we go. We'll do one more. That one didn't seem very good. Let me try that one more time. What's going on here? I might have done something when I took the pen apart. Maybe the seal isn't there because it's not pulling up a lot of ink. Let me check this out. So I don't know if that's the cause of it. I just put some new silicone grease on here, but this O-ring was a touch chewed up. So it could be possibly leaking out of there. Yeah, I think that's what the problem is that O-ring is just chewed up now. I had that exact same problem on my Visconti Homo sapiens. That O-ring got chewed up and I didn't get a very good fill. So I think that's what's going on here. So I think the Wing Sung is going to win it in this case. Let's see. We were at 27 1/4. we didn't add a whole bunch. 28.15. So clearly no contest. We have a faulty O-ring there, but 0.9 milliliters versus 1.8. So the clear victor today is a 699. That is one thing to keep in mind on your back fillers. Check those little O-rings. I noticed it when I was doing the video, but I thought, oh, no big deal. And no, it's a big deal. So that has to be replaced. I can't remember what the full ink volume of this pen is normally. I did this test when I did the full review. I'll have a link to that video down below so you can compare what the number is when it's actually working properly. We are now at the conclusion of the video. It's also the following day. My phone was starting to get too hot. It overheated, got a warning, so I just went to bed. What I did do is I wrote with the pens a whole bunch and just sort of slept on it to wait before making the decision. And now I have reached a final conclusion. The winner of the best Pilot Custom 823 substitute pen is Asvine V126. Let me tell you why. First of all, they're both great pens. They're comfortable. They're reasonably well built. Pricing, I can't remember the prices. I'll have links down below so you can check for yourself, but I think they are priced fairly close to each other as well. The reason the 126 took over, one is fewer turns. I just find it is a little annoying. It's just a touch too many turns for the Wing Sung. So that's a bit of a deal to me. The big one is the sealing of the nib. So this just, the hard starting and all that stuff has not had any issues with this one or the 823, but on the Wing Sung, it's frequent and it's annoying. And I just have to, I thought to myself, why haven't I been using this pen if there's all these great things? It's because the nib dry out is so annoying. I haven't used it for well over a year. So that's a massive deduction for me. I do prefer the posting of the 126. It also feels a little bit more solid in the hand, but I do like how this feels. As far as feel-wise, if that's a metric for you, they're very, very similar. For me, a little slight personal preference to the 126, but yeah, the posting as well, that kind of took it over the edge. So this is the one I would pick. I don't know if that's the one you would pick. Maybe this will help you with your decision. That is interesting how that failed. That's the first time. I'm going to check my box that the pen came in, if I still have it, if there was a replacement O-ring. If I'm able to source one or find one, I'll do my best to leave a link down below whenever I get a chance to find one. with this guy here, I had an idea in the shower this morning as I was thinking about the conclusion of this video. So I thought about a way to potentially fix the ceiling on here. I came up with an idea, and let me know if you would like to see me give that a go in a separate video, how to possibly fix that little detail. I'll find out if that actually is the problem or maybe it's something else, but if you'd like to see that video as well, let me know down below. So that's the end of it. As always, thanks again for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you could, comment if you need to say something, subscribe if you haven't, and there's a membership join button you can hit. Lots of fun stuff going on. I'll have details in the description about what that is all about. Until then, I got a bunch more pens over here I can't show you. Top secret stuff, but if you stay tuned, we'll catch you next time.